आपकी हमारी मैं भी एचआर में रही हूँ, रोजी रोटी ही यही है कि the kind of people we have and the kind of people we groom and the kind of people we develop. So skill gap, if we want to make a difference in our organization, absolutely it starts from the skill gap. Thank you. Thank you everyone. Okay. Now talking about employee value proposition. As I said, it's an interactive session. Any one of you, have you heard of EVP? Have you done some work around EVP in your organization? You have done it? Input please for thank you. This gets very much.
I think the first thing that we have done for
Sorry, your name and your organization and then.
Organization. I am Abdul Samad. I am representing the Forty Fertilizer Company. And as far as the EVP is concerned, the first thing we've done is a primary diagnostic. First, we need to understand what our problems are. We ran our culture survey, and we got to know a lot of points where we need to work on. We put our employee first before the customer. It goes the other way around normally. But we understood that if the employee is happy, the customers are going to be happy in return. There are a lot of initiatives that we have really started in, and we're in early phases. But there are a lot of things that we have done to enhance the employment value proposition, not just for the outside when we go to university on job fairs, but also the existing workforce. We help them understand what we are as an organization. We have done a lot of things within our culture. There were a lot of things that were already there, but they were left unsaid. So there was a lot of communication enhancement within the organization. People understood what the culture is all about. A heritage of the past 44 years that we saw in the video. We linked all of that to what people are doing every day. And for the foundation business as a whole, it's something that contributes to the society. That was our pitch to our employees and that was.
Excellent, thank you. So first thing you know, if you're thinking of employee value proposition, because exactly the way the steps are defined, and we're going to go through the steps, that's really the way you go through it. And you can also contact them. Now, remember the difference is the employee value proposition and employer branding is sort of being spoken hand in hand. Internally is very important because it's the promise you make to your organization. That's your EVP. If the organization you're working and you meet your friends at night and you say, you know, kaisi organization hai? What you define is really that EVP is. It's not what you see on the job ad. It's the comments on the glass door. It's something that you tell your people to join, and sometimes we say that please stay away from that organization. There are two big construction companies in Dubai. They're actually fantastic names, because when you go to Dubai, you see their construction and everything. But apparently, what I hear now, because I do this work, their EVP is so bad that people withdraw from applications. And when somebody is going, somebody will call them, please don't go there. So this is the word of mouth is your EVP. Employer branding is externally focused. It's the images that we see, whether it's a video, whether it's a brand promise. Now, as I mentioned, when I got this project, to me the closest affinity, and I know this is an HR conference, some of you may have worked in marketing or may have studied marketing. The way I thought of EVP employer branding is like a marketing thing. So Lux, I'll use it as a simple example because we all can relate. Lux is associated to beauty. Why? Because we see the visual. It's always some celebrity. And there is a Lux Style Award, celebrity. But we also know that Lux Khushbudar hai. The brand says, but also we know when we open the packing, we keep it in our toilet or whatever, we can smell it, right? So the brand promise is there. Then also it has a heritage. So our mother was using it and she said it was good and we are using it and we buy. And I'm just using Lux as an example. But then it could be true for Pepsi as a brand, because Pepsi and Coke, they invest heavily in branding. But just like they do, similarly, organizations also have a character. They are also being defined from generations to generations, the culture you experience, and then what you see, the kind, and some organizations, they don't even exist actually on the C part. If you go to digital space, if you see the branding site is actually quite weak. So that's the whole process. I think there is a bit of a lag. My apologies, I'm struggling a little bit with the clicker. Okay. So, in theory, if you want a bit of a lecture or a picture, please take this, because employer value proposition is the unique set of benefits and offerings that an employee receives in return of the skills and capabilities they bring. These are the tangible and non-tangible benefits the company offers to its employees. So a lot of people, when they think of employee value proposition, they think of compensation and benefit. They start looking at their policies. It's actually not just that. Your policies around how you treat maternity leave, your work from home, wellness policies, a lot of these things are part of it. Is there a better clicker? What is, can we change it, because I'm, so can you go back to the slide please? Go back, go back, go back, go back, पीछे जाए, go back, go back, इसके पीछे, yes, thank you. No, just stay there. Thank you. EDP, as I mentioned, is something that you offer to your employees. It's intrinsically what is offered to employees and what they talk about. Employer branding is your perception and image. So if I mention a company, what is the perception that comes to your mind? Now get your sliders out. So move on. So आप ही कह रहे हैं नहीं आपका क्या ये है I know there's a big event, PSHRM and Engage Consultancy, they do it every year and it's in October, but we are going to share the results now. So where is Sabina? Sabina, you may not. I said your event in October. Okay, sorry, that's it. Thank you. We'll take a picture. So, oh, sorry, go back. Can you see the? Yes, just stay on the side. Okay, and please don't mind, because I am gonna spell out one organization and I say, because of course when we are employees we are more dedicated and a little bit biased towards our organization, that's fine. The Millennium Education, and my sincere apologies. Is it a top employer in Pakistan? Have you heard of it? Honest? Honest? No. But you can get there because if you strongly believe, I'm sure it is, and that's why the EDP and employer branding comes. Why do we see Unilever, for example? You see it very consistently and for years and years. Sorry? Yes, and also we need mics here. Their work culture. Have you worked for Unilever? So how do you know their work culture? So you haven't worked, but how do you know their work culture is good?
I have friends there.
You have friends there. And what did they tell you?
So they have like a good employee experience, good culture.
Great. So does the millennial education also, because their employees are saying that, but we haven't heard it. So I'm saying this is how we create impression. Jazz, I see, I don't know, maybe there's a bigger table here or genuinely, I don't know. Because real results we're going to find out in October, which Sabina, the PSHRM and Paul, they're going to do it. I see other names, Telenor, PPCL, Fauji, Astari, Mizan, Happo. Now if there was a bank survey, and again, my sincere apologies, do you think Astari and Mizan would be there number one? Public opinion? Yes, you said. Very good. Like I was quite pleased to see LCI here and then somebody mentioned PepsiCo. Nobody mentioned GSS, I'm a bit hurt. But there's obviously that personal affinity. But the reason I'm mentioning this, that this is all about Unilever at work. They have spent a lot of money on employer branding and employee value experience. Because employee value proposition, starting from university, what the stories they tell their employees. So when they circulate their reward policy, they just don't do it a dry, legal reward policy. It's very nicely communicated to employees. So employees like it. When they're communicating their learning program, they don't say you have been nominated and it's mandatory to go and attend performance management. Is this really employer branding? You're not even motivated to go there. So it's all about the little things, how we communicate in HR. And trust me, it's not the only video. A lot of companies when they say, oh, let's work on EVP and employer branding and make a video. Don't do it. Because people don't watch videos unless they hear stories like that. So thank you, Jazz. Somebody mentioned, but why do you think Jazz is a top employer? I like to hear from a non-Jazz employee. Anyone who agrees and as a non-Jazz employee? Okay, go ahead. And brave of you because I'm sure you're sitting with your colleagues as well, but if you believe, then please go ahead.
I believe
Hi, Fazia here, Muslim. Actually, the strong culture is the basic thing.
How do you know?
Actually, many of my friends are working there, so I have an idea that their background and the culture is so positive for the women specifically. So we always thought that, the enriched culture is always a kind of a priority for the women specifically.
And you're right, I've heard the same about their women culture. How do you know that their women culture, any facts?
Actually, there is a daycare inside the organization and there is so much of facilitation inside the organization. But exactly, the Unilever is also providing the same stuff. So we thought that these kind of facilities and there's the work-life balance is also very positive there. So people give us the videos and telling us about their background, and even if they are mother, they can raise their children more conveniently. So these are the things which always contribute in making an organization culture. And again, the packages are very, competitive as compared to the other fields there.
And you're right, because we were trying to recruit an ICA. Thank you so much
Thank you.
from Jazz, and again a woman. So, okay, Jazz team, very good, because you do pay competitively. Now, I have a counter argument also. Not every company has deep pockets. But you still have a strong, so the millennial, sorry, I keep mentioning because it's an education group. And education, when people work there, they also have a different style. They are very dedicated, they want to give back to the society. So frankly, money may not even be the biggest motivator for them. It's just understanding what your culture, what your organization is, and what your strengths are, and building up onto that. You don't have to become another Jazz or another Unilever. You have to become you only. And that's the core of EVP and employer branding. Because the minute you start, and this happens a lot actually here, because I've worked in this market, one company roll out one policy, everybody it starts circulating on WhatsApp. एक तो confidentiality का कोई issue ही नहीं है यहाँ पे, but दूसरा it starts circulating like anything. Why? उनके पास daycare है, you can't. If you have a chemical plant running and you're in the middle, you don't need a baby daycare center because it's actually hazardous for the children. You may want to think something else. So think of your culture, think of your organization, and then build the EVP. That's the authentic, and that creates value.